Alright guys, let's discuss about my favorite part, which is how you can implement automation step in your email sequence in your sales pipeline so that you can focus more on the things that matter and automate all of these manual tasks like adding prospect to your sequence, adding prospect to your prospect leads, etc. without any manual effort. All you need to do is set up this automation or a workflow that I'm going to show you in this lecture so that you can sit back and relax and all of your manual hard work will be fully automated. If we click on settings, we have some option of webhooks, API and integration. So click on integrations. In today's artificial intelligence world, if you are not leveraging the power of automation or integration, you are hurting your entire sales process and productivity. SalesND offers native integration with popular CRM platforms like HubSpot, Pipedrive, Zoho. This means that you can sync your contacts and leads automatically without you having to do anything. You can update deal stages directly from SalesND and you can ensure your sales and outreach data is always up to date across all of your platforms. Not to forget, SalesND's integration with Zapier opens up a world of possibilities. You can integrate your entire cold email campaign with more than 6,000 plus applications available through Zapier. You can create custom workflows that we are going to build right now, tailored to your specific needs. You can automate repetitive tasks, saving times and reducing manual efforts and errors. You can connect SalesND with virtually any tools in your tech stack that you are using. Moving ahead, we have video personalization that SalesND offers, which are SendSpark, Sendler, PitchLane, Weasley. So feel free to play around with this integration tab of video personalization. Allow me to show you how you can integrate Zapier into your cold email campaign so that you can automate a lot of manual stuff or manual work. We are going to cover two examples. First, I am going to show you how you can automate your prospect entry or your data entry from your CRM tools like Airtable, Zoho, Pipedrive, or even if you are using Google Sheet for a prospect entry, we will automate that as well. What we are going to automate is this prospect leads so that you don't have to manually enter your prospect every single time, even export that via CSV file. All of those things will be fully automated by using Zapier. Moving forward, second example that we are going to cover is how you can add your prospect that you have added in your CRM solution directly into your sequence. Not this prospect leads, but let's say open any sequence directly to your sequence or your cold email campaigns. We are going to use Zapier for that. So you can integrate SalesND with bunch of applications available out there. For example, Google Sheet, HubSpot, Salesforce, Monday, Airtable. If you are using PitchLane, Pipedrive, Box, Trello, Slack, Typeform, there are way too many applications that you can integrate to enhance your sales outreach efforts and to maximize your productivity. As this is our first integration, I'm just going to use Google Sheet so that you get familiar with Zapier if you are like non-techie person. Therefore, log in or sign up with Zapier and then click on Create New Zap or Zapier. What type of automation we are going to build? Let me just quickly show you. This is like my Google Sheet or my agency Google Sheet where we keep track of all of our newly imported or newly added prospects. So I have 2 to 3 different guys that continuously add prospect to this list. So I want to automate this thing because I don't want to manually every single time import this CSV file or prospect leads into SalesND via CSV. So I don't want to do that, or I don't want my team to do that because it will waste so much of your time and so much of your energy. And that's why we are going to automate this thing, because that's how you can focus more on what matters and automate this manual or repetitive task. So go back to Zapier. First event that we are going to create is a trigger event. So whenever a new prospect will be added into my Google Sheet or into your Google Sheet, it will trigger a Zapier. So it will trigger your Google Sheet. All you need to do is click on app and then we will select, for our example, Google Sheets. But if you are using Google Forms or any other CRM solution, you can select that as well. But as of now, let us continue with Google Sheets. The app we are using is Google Sheets. Now we have to select the trigger event. So our trigger was whenever new prospect will be added to a row, it will automatically trigger this event or this Zapier. New or updated spreadsheet row. Alright, so triggered when a new row is added or modified in the spreadsheet. After that, connect Google Sheet account into your Zapier. Then click on continue. Alright, I hope this makes sense. It is very easy, and if you are like confused, rewatch this video again and follow along with me. you will have no problem with this automation. Alright, we have to select our spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet we are using is prospect list. So select your Google Sheet here. Then worksheet. Worksheet is month and lead agency sheet 1. Alright. So in worksheet, you will be able to see your sheet. Click on that and which column you want to trigger. So for our example, we are more focusing on the emails. So whenever an email will be added to this row, it will trigger our Zapier. We will use, let's say, email column. Alright, select your spreadsheet, your worksheet and the trigger column that you are going after. Now it's time to test your trigger. So click on test trigger. It will get some payback or payload from it. It has found out most 3 recent records. So we have our first name Sarah, Smith and their email. All of the things is will automatically map. So if we go to our CSV file, we have Sarah, last name, their email, their job title, everything in our Zapier. Alright, so that's what we are looking for so that we can continue with our selected record. Amazing guys, our Google Sheet integration is done. Now we want to import that data into SalesAndy prospect list. So we are going to search for SalesAndy. Select SalesAndy. The app is SalesAndy and what action that we are targeting for. We want to add our prospect from Google Sheet into our SalesAndy. So choose an event. There are a bunch of other events as well, like add an outcome to the prospect, blacklist a domain, assign a tag to a prospect, but we are going for create prospect or add prospect to the sequence. Then connect your SalesAndy account. It will ask for an API key from your SalesAndy account. So go to settings in SalesAndy and you will be able to find something called API key. Let's create a new API key. Let us name it as Zapier or anything that you like. Copy your API key and then paste it here. So this is my API key and this is the connection name. It is optional. If you want to leave it as it is, it's fine. And don't get any funny idea, I'm going to delete my API key right after this lecture. So use your API key and then click on yes, continue to SalesAndy. So it will connect your SalesAndy account with Zapier. Just for your information, why do we need API key? Because whenever we provide our API key to Zapier, it will connect our SalesAndy account with Zapier. Alright, our SalesAndy account is connected. And if you want to test this connection, you can click on test connection. Your account connection is working correctly, so you're good to go. Next, click on continue, where we have to map our fields from CSV file to our SalesAndy prospect lists. It is very easy. All we need to do is click on this plus button to map our field, or you can simply type /. We will map with the first name in our payload. The first name is Sarah. For last name, which is Smith. Email is mandatory or compulsory field here. So we'll add our email. Then you can further map your field as per the data that is available. So if you want to add their LinkedIn account. Alright, so this is the LinkedIn account. And this is one-time thing. All you need to do is map the field that you're going after just for one time. So let us go with their LinkedIn, their email, first name and last name. Feel free to add more fields as per your preference or your liking. But as of now, let us click on continue. This is the overview of the data that will be sent to SalesAndy. We have the LinkedIn, email, first name and the last name. Then let's test our step. Sending a prospect to SalesAndy. A prospect was sent to SalesAndy about 0 seconds ago. So congratulations, prospect has been imported successfully. Let us check that in our SalesAndy account. So let us go to prospects. There we go. Without you having to do anything, our prospect has been added into our prospect lists. So let us open this. In profile, we have the first name, last name of our prospect, their work email. Awesome. And if we scroll down, Zapier has also added the LinkedIn URL. Awesome. So let us make our Zapier live. So click on publish. Awesome, you have automated your prospect entry or your data entry by using Zapier. Make sure your Zapier is running and publish. So let us go to our prospect leads. Let us add a new row here. Alright, let's add only 3 information as of now. So it should trigger our automation because we have set the trigger column of email. So let us go to our prospect leads. Click on refresh. Within just matter of 1 minute, it has automatically added our prospect that we have entered into our CSV file in Sales Handy. So let us use another example. So if you are running an agency or if you are even working alone and if you want to automate this manual and repetitive task, you can do that very easily by this automation. Just after waiting 1 to 2 minutes, my prospect was added into my Sales Handy account. So the ideal duration to wait is 5 minutes. Coming up to our second example, which is adding your prospect into specific sequence of your cold email campaigns. You want to take a step further and you want to add your prospect into specific sequence or your specific cold email campaigns and not only to prospect leads. For that automation, all you need to do is copy your sequence step ID. So let me show you how. Go to sequence. This is the step ID that I am talking about. So copy this. And as you can see, there are no prospect in this sequence. So create a column of step ID. And then you want to add all of these prospects to this step ID or to your specific cold email campaign. So go back to Zapier now. We will again create new Zap so that you are familiar with Zapier and how you can automate your integration in any way, shape or form you like. So click on Zap. First step we are choosing is our trigger app, which is Google Sheets. Google Sheets. The trigger event we are going after is when a new row or new prospect is added to a Google Sheet. Connect your Google Sheet account, click on continue. The trigger column that we are going to after is our step ID. Then click on continue. Click on test trigger. It will find out 3 most recent records. So let's see. We have our email and we have our step ID, which is our cold email sequence. So let us continue with selected record. Then we are sending our prospect that we just added into Google Sheet into Sales Handy. So click on Sales Handy. What we are doing is we are adding our prospect to specific sequence. Select your account. Click on continue. Now it's time to map our fields. First name for first name, last name, then email. Then scroll down and you will be able to find step ID. So select your step ID here. So select your step ID and then click on continue. This data will be transferred to our Sales Handy account. Just make sure that you are adding that specific step ID or that specific sequence that you want to add your prospect. Then let us test our step. A prospect was sent ago to Sales Handy about 0 seconds ago. So let us go back to our sequence, go to prospects. And as you can see, in just few seconds or in just matter of minutes, you will be able to see your prospect will be added into your particular sequence or your cold email campaign that you are going after. Congratulations guys, you have understand and implemented the first step of automation into your sales pipeline. And I hope you understand why you should use automation like this to level up your entire sales pipeline. This automation you will definitely love it because we use it on a daily basis in our agency, which is when an email reply has been came or when a prospect replies to our cold emails, we want to answer as soon as possible so that there is more chance of closing that deal or closing that client. That's why we use this automation. When our prospect will reply to our cold email, we will get instant notification in our Slack group where we have entire team in it, so that everyone in the team can saw this message and they can instantly reply by using unified inbox. Let's set this automation up by using Zapier. But if you are using, let's say, Pipedrive, Zoho, HubSpot, Salesforce, SalesAndy offers seamless integration with all of these platforms. So all you need to do is click on Connect Now and connect your account. This is the Slack channel that we are using, which is email reply. So you can easily create a Slack account and then you can create a sub channel. So we are going to use email reply channel. Let us go to Zapier, create a new Zap. But for this instance, we are going to use webhooks. So you might ask, what are webhooks? Webhooks are a way of communication between two applications. For instance, one application can send any data to another by using webhooks when a specific event triggers. In our example, when an email reply or when our recipient replies to our cold email, we want to get instantly notified in our Slack channel. So we are going to use webhook for that. So first of all, click on Trigger and then select Webhook by Zapier. Now we want to catch a webhook from SalesAndy. If you go to Settings, then click on Webhooks, we want to catch our SalesAndy webhook in Zapier. So go back to Zapier and then you will be able to find Catch Webhooks. So whenever our prospect will reply to our email, Zapier will catch that webhook. Click on Continue. Click on Continue. Zapier will provide a webhook URL that we are going to paste into our SalesAndy account. Copy this hook.zapier.com URL. Go back to SalesAndy. Then let's add a webhook. Let's say Zapier x Slack. And you don't need to add any HTTP headers. All you need to do is select the event that you want to trigger. In our example, when a reply is received, we want to get instantly notified in our Slack channel. So we will use when a reply is received. But if you want to, let's say, get notified from when an email is open, when an email link is clicked, or when an email is bounced, you can select that event as well. But as of now, let us continue with when a reply is received. Alright, so let us go back to Zapier and then let us test our trigger. Click on Test. It should have 200 OK response. There we go. The status is success, webhook received and processed successfully. So let us go back to Zapier. Let us test our trigger. We will have some kind of a demo data from SalesAndy. Let us open it. We have our prospect name, prospect last name, prospect email and bunch of other data. Alright, so we can continue with this demo record as of now. Our webhook thing is done. Now it's time to select Slack. So search for Slack. Let us select an event. We want to send channel message so that all of my team member will get instantly notified on Slack. Connect your Slack account. Select your channel. My channel is Cold Email Masterclass. Allow the permissions. Your Slack account is connected. Then click on Continue. We have to select our channel. Our channel is email reply and the message that you want to send out to your Slack channel when an email reply has received. So let us map the field of our prospect with their name, with their email address and what type of reply they have sent. So we can say prospect first name from our prospect email. This is our prospect email, has message, and we will add or map their reply. Received reply message, we will use this. So we have our prospect name, it will say Piyush from this email has replied. Let us add reply with this message, which is thank you from showing your interest. Alright, and if you want to add other things, you can do that as well. But as of now, let us continue with this. Feel free to customize this message text as per your liking, but this will be the response that will be sent into your Slack channel or Slack group. Piyush from this email has replied with this message. Thank you from connecting with me. I'm interested into this. And now it's time to test our step. Click on test tab. Awesome. It has successfully sent message to our Slack channel. Let us go to our Slack channel. Piyush from this email has a reply with this message. Thank you for contacting with me. I am interested. Alright, so all of my sales team or all of my team member can reach out to Unibox and then instantly reply to our prospect, showing that you are available around the world, and it shows that you are genuinely interested in them. Congratulations guys, you now know how you can use webhook to automate literally anything. For example, we are using Slack, but if you are using another communication channel, let's say Trello, you can do that. All you need to do is, let us remove this, then search for Trello. You can add your prospect reply in your Trello channel, or if you are using Asana. So the possibilities of integration with Zapier are literally limitless. So feel free to play around with Zapier, and if you need any specific automation that you want to use in your sales pipeline, just message me and I will create a video for you guys. Alright, that's all from my side. We have covered webhooks, we have covered integrations. Again, feel free to play with integration if you are using any of this application. And I have seen more and more people now using video personalization to maximize their sales and their business. So if you have some time, just look into video personalization. It might work wonder for a sales campaign. Consider this like an entire course summary where we will cover everything starting from email infrastructure to copywriting to how to brainstorm your campaign ideas and how to target those campaign angles. So let us start with cold emailing benefits. I know you already know the benefits, but hearing these cold emailing advantages will definitely blow your mind. So let us start. Imagine having the ability to reach out directly to your ideal customer, client, anytime and anywhere. Well, that's the power of cold emailing. Unlike traditional methods such as advertising or waiting from referrals, cold emailing put you in the driver's seat for a lead generation and for a client success. But here's the real kicker. The return on investment for cold email campaigns can be astronomical. Why? Because the costs associated with cold emailing are relatively very low compared to other channels. With the right strategy that we have learned in this course, you can reach a large number of prospects at a fraction of the cost of traditional advertising or in-person sales efforts. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Well, cold emailing isn't just spam. Well, not if you have done it in the right way. And that's exactly what we have learned and we are going to learn in this course. But before we deep dive into how-tos, let's address some of the common pitfalls that most people fall into it before starting cold emailing. First up, we have lack of personalization. Raise your hand if you have received a very generic, one-size-fits-for-all email that made you roll your eyes. Yeah, I thought so. We have all been there. The key to avoiding this is to invest time in tailoring your message to each recipient. Do your homework, research their company, their role, their recent achievements. Show them that you are genuinely interested in helping them. Next up, we have novel length or essay length emails. In today's fast-paced business world, attention spam are shorter than ever. If your email looks like War and Peace, no one is going to read your entire email, so keep it concise and keep it punchy. Sending irrelevant emails due to lack of proper research is a surefire way to get your emails ignored or marked as spam. So take some time to understand your recipient pain points and their needs. It's not about avoiding annoyance, it's about offering genuine value upfront to your recipients. Now that we know what to avoid, let us talk about some of the best cold email tech stack that will make your cold email campaign sing like Beyonce. From email infrastructure, I recommend Maildoso. And no, Maildoso is not paying me to say this, they doesn't know if I exist or not, but I consider email infrastructure like a foundation of your house. You want it to be strong and solid. Maildoso ensures that you will get superior delivery rates. Now when it comes to actually sending out those emails, Sales Handy is my top pick. It's user-friendly, has a built-in warm-up feature, and automates your entire cold email campaigns in a seamless and beautiful manner. Further, to build your prospect leads, you have got so many options, starting with Lead Finder by Sales Handy, and it is like a great choice to go after. But don't overlook tools like Persona AI, Apollo.io, or combination of Sales Navigator and Prosperio. Mix and match to find out what works best for you. Alright guys, now let's get into the meat of it, which is crafting effective email copy. The first rule of Email Club is be concise. Aim from 50 to 75 words. That's your sweet spot from readability. Second rule, create low friction. Make it easy to recipient to engage with your audience and easy to read. Clear, simple language and straightforward call to action are friends here. Third rule, respect their time, both yours and even theirs. Every single word in your email should be accounted for. And finally, personalization and relevance. Tailor your content to your recipient roles and industry. Show them that you are not just another spammer, you are someone who has done their homework and has something genuinely valuable to offer. Now let's break down the skeleton of a successful cold email campaign. Your subject line is your first impression. Make it count. Keep it short, simple, and curiosity-inducing. 2 to 4 word subject lines are working so great for me. Now in the email body, get straight to the point. Focus on recipient needs rather than talking about yourself, your company, or some random chit-chat. And here's a pro tip. Stick to plain only text email which doesn't contain any HTML code or element inside it. They feel more personal and are less likely to trigger spam filters by your ESPs or your email service provider. Also, never forget about follow-ups. Use a sequence of 3 to 4 emails spread over weeks. Consider using videos, GIF, or even memes in the follow-up to stand out. Alright, let's wrap this up, but let us not forget about this advanced technique or advanced points that you should really consider in your cold email campaign. First, be mindful of spam words. Use tools like Sales Handy Spam Checker to identify and replace words that might trigger spam filters by your ESPs. Next, consider using spin text to create variation within your email copies. This technique helps your email appear unique and reduce the risk of being flagged as spam by your ESP. Lastly, timing is everything. Identify sales triggers or optimal time to reach out to your prospects. This can be based on company news, industry trends, industry events, or even personal achievements or milestone. Alright guys, that's all for this ultimate guide of cold emailing from B2B companies. Class dismissed. There is this new term being coined in our marketing and sales department, which is inbound-led outbound marketing. So what is inbound-led outbound marketing? Let us have a look. Inbound marketing is all about pulling customers in. You create helpful content, optimize from search engines, and uses social media to attack your prospect and attract your target audience. It's like being the cool house on the block that everyone wants to visit. Outbound marketing, on the other hand, is the traditional approach. For example, ads, cold calls, cold emails. Basically, you are reaching out to your potential customer directly. Here's how to mix both of them. You create valuable content that addresses your audience need, that's inbound. Then you use outbound marketing to boost that content's reach. Maybe you can prompt a blog post through targeted ads or share your latest video in an email campaign. This combo is powerful because it is combining the trust building block of inbound with a broader reach of outbound. Plus, your outbound efforts are more effective because they are promoting high quality, high valuable and relevant content to your audience. So use inbound-led outbound marketing strategies and in your cold email campaigns. Grab your coffee because this lecture is going to be amazing, and I just got a new cup, email and espresso. Bruh. We have Adam Robinson here, and let us come back to our coin, which was inbound-led outbound system. This coin is being termed by Adam Robinson, and if you don't know him, you might be living under a rock. He created a software called RB2B or Retention Business to Businesses. This software allows us to do personal level website visitor or personal level identification. So let me show you what does that mean. You know the old problem, right? People visit your website but you have no idea who they are. Well, that's about to solve. Let me walk through this process. When someone lands on your website, we can now identify by using RB2B their name, their title, their company information, their LinkedIn URL, their work email, and which pages they are viewing. You might ask, is this illegal or how does RB2B is doing this? RB2B is doing by using reverse IP method. And yes, it is legal because RB2B is following all the GDPR rules. But the one thing here is it only works for US visitors. So coming back to our point, we will get real-time notification. Instead of letting this visit go unnoticed, you will get instant Slack notification when someone important is on your site. Think of like having a doorbell on your website. After that comes our enrichment part. We will use Clay to understand their role at this company, to find out colleagues or to find out decision maker at this company. And now comes the part of smart approach or smart outreach. Instead of cold outreach, you are reaching out while they are still thinking about your solution. We can also reference the exact page they view and personalize our message based on their interest. And we can connect them with on multiple channels, for example their work email or cold emails or their LinkedIn. Remember, when someone is on your website, they are actively thinking about your solution. That's the perfect time to start a conversation or to pitch your offer there. We can use AI to come up with warm icebreakers or sales message like, hey first name, I noticed you were on our site checking this specific page out. A lot of roles similar to you also find this topic very interesting. Would you be open to a quick chat or a call, or how we can help you with our service or product? Let me show you how you can set this up. To be honest, it is free if you are using for pulling LinkedIn only. If you want to find out email addresses, let us go to pricing first. Yeah. In free, you won't be able to get the email addresses, but as of now, we will use free. Let us use our work email. I'm using this website example. Which apps do you want to use? We want to use for Clay, and you can use other softwares as per your preference. Let us integrate with Slack. Click on allow and choose your channel. We have to install our script. So we will add our domain name here. Click on next. You can add this by using Google Tag Manager or even by embedding our custom HTML code. Let us view this. Let us copy this code and let us go back to our website. Whatever software that you have used to create your website, for example WordPress, Webflow, Go High Level Framer, all you need to do is copy this code. In our example, we have used Go High Level. Click on settings and then add HTML code here. We have to add the code in head tracking code. As it is mentioned, add the code in the header of your website. And let us test our script. Yeah, script verified. Awesome guys, you just did it. You have installed anonymous visitor identification on your website. Now next thing is, click on next. Awesome, we have our LinkedIn legend here saying congratulations, you are done. So let us go to dashboard. Right now no one is viewing our website from USA, that's why we won't have any new user, but I will show you a test or demo. Click on integrations. Let us go to Slack integration first and then we will use Clay. Let's open Slack. Alright, it might be here. So we have selected the channel general, as you might seen here, connected channel. Awesome. Hey there, it's Adam from RB2B. Click on next. Awesome, our Slack integration is also done, and this type of message you will get, which is their LinkedIn URL, their name, their title, which company they belong to, and how many employees are there, our prospects ARR or annual recurring revenue, and number of customers. It is pretty cool, right? Now let me show you how you can connect this data or send all of this information to Clay so that you can further enrich your leads and use AI to hyper-personalize your message or copy to reach out at the right moment. So our Slack integration is done. Now let us import this data directly to Clay so that you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is set up this integration for once. Let us go back. And where is Clay? Yeah. We have to add a webhook here. And I think you are already familiar with webhook, and if you are not, please refer to our Clay master course in the classroom section. Click on create new, click on table, and we have to use monitor webhook. It will get us a URL, copy that, paste it here. Awesome, let us save this. Let us test a demo or a payload to our clay. 200 OK, which means that, yeah, the data has been received in our clay table. We have the first name of our prospect. Let us add this as a column. Last name, their LinkedIn URL, which company they belong to, their work email, their title, and yeah, feel free to further add the columns as per your preference or your liking. After that, click on Add Enrichment, and we will use AI to write hyper-personalized copies to our prospects before reaching out to them. And we have a series of lectures on how you can write those email sequence or email copies by using AI in Clay. So make sure to check that master file or master course for sure. Awesome guys, I hope you found this course valuable, and I will see you in the next one. A lot of marketing professionals will tell you that copywriting and email writing is dead. Well, I don't think so. Whenever I hear someone complain about that and look at the underperforming copywriting and email marketing campaign, it's typically a case of not being present at the right place at the right time. In this course, you will learn how to create urgency, telling a story, and crafting an offer the reader cannot resist at the right point of the sales funnel. In addition to all of that, you will learn other different ways in which you can get more out of your copywriting and email marketing campaign. Before you write any copywriting copies or marketing emails, you want to look at who you are writing to and why. Assigning categories to the type of email you want to send helps you understand the recipient roles and where they might sit among your brand target audience. Doing this has the added benefit of allowing you to tailor your email marketing strategies to the needs and interest of that audience. Well, foundational emails introduce your brand and establish your brand identity. This email might be a welcome message or newsletter after someone has given you their email. It's your chance to introduce them to your company's background, your company's mission, value, and what they can expect from your company. Educational emails provide valuable information and insights about your products and your services. They are meant to inform and not to hard sell. They might include a how-to guide or a case study about your company. People who receive this type of email might be familiar with your brand but haven't actually bought from you. Promotional emails are sent to qualified leads. These are the people that you are pretty sure will respond to a discount offer or other value-added offer, for example, free shipping. The readers of these emails might show you an interest or engagement with your brand in the past or are likely to buy in the future. Engagement emails are typically sent to the people who you already have interacted with and then involve them into asking something like a survey or leave a review. This might also happen with a last category one-to-one email, where it's an individual email for you to them. Now that you have all the knowledge of what kind of emails you will be writing and sending, it will be a lot easier to craft a compelling copywriting campaign that will meet your demands of your audience. Adding a sense of urgency to subject headlines and email headlines can increase the open rates, and more importantly, click-through rates to conversion. Creating a sense of urgency means using words like urgent, now, today, or immediate. You are urging people to act now and highlights the consequences of inaction because of an limited time offer or 24-hour sale. A webinar that you are promoting might have limited seating or an offer that might expire in 24 hours. It is known as FOMO, fear of missing out that you are creating in the subject line to your audience. Because you don't want to be crying wolf through overuse, you should also use other ways to improve the subject lines, like using personalization with the user's name. For example, be specific and clear, but not add all of the world deadlines like announcing a 24-hour flash sales that will end Friday. This can be a less urgent, but will still give you the point that you are trying to convey to that specific person. If you have a really big email list, it can be also useful to take 10% of that list and test out different headlines. Using open rates, you can take the most successful headlines from relatively small test of 10% and then use it from other 90% within a day or two. You want to give people reason to open up your email, so don't worry and feel free to try out with different subject headlines. Fortunately, well-crafted subject headlines offers a clear solution and a path to solving that vexing problem. Meeting your readers' needs and expectation with email is all about being present at the right time, at the right place. A logically structured email where you get the information you need about your sale, product information, and more is often the difference between conversion and frustration on the part of reader. A logically structured email has a compelling subject headlines or subject line and an engaging hook in the first paragraph. There's a logical progression of ideas where each part of the email is connected to each other and to a clear call to action. Keeping your email concise and focused means eliminating unnecessary jargon and centering your message on the key features and benefits of your product or your service. When outlining your ideas for your email, ask yourself this: if you are using any persuasive tools or persuasive words in your writing, or is there any emotional appeal where you will show an understanding as what moves your audience to buy your product? Maybe they have moved by more logical appeal where the facts, statistics, and logical arguments wins the day. Once you have created this logical flow and outline what it is in for your customer with a persuasive appeal, make sure to put thought into what you are going to want them to do next and create a call to action that makes sense to your email. Don't assume that they know what to do next, and make sure to add that call to action clear as eyes. This way, it's not just about increasing in your open rate, but also conversion from all the email campaigns you manage. When you have done your work as a marketer and you have understand your sales funnels, you start to understand who your primary customers are and why they are buying products from you. You have even probably learned something more about them along the way. Personalization, like addressing someone by their first name in an email, is only part of what can be further be refined by deeper segmentations. For example, did they leave an item in their cart? Or do they buy always from you during their holiday season? Have they left any good reviews to our products? These are the segments to look for, which can take personalization way past using someone's first name. You might already know or think about demographic segmentations like age, gender, income, occupation, and like that. But there are few more that can be even more useful to your copywriting content. For example, geographic segmentation or targeting specific locations to be at the right place at the right time works wonders. As a political campaign manager, for instance, you might send direct mail to specific neighborhoods because you know what issues move them to vote for you. You might also have a way to look at psychographic characteristics like lifestyles, social class, persona traits that you can leverage. So to summarize all of that, when you are using segmentations to your email readers, you can look at their behaviors as an effective way to increase the open rates, click-through rates, and conversions. One of the most important things to do when planning your copywriting content or your copywriting campaign is to be clear about what problems or pain points you are trying to solve for your customers. Let's say, what pain points are they having that you can solve. One way to think about this when planning and drafting your emails is to provide context through email categories. Let's say if you are writing a foundational email, like one that welcomes someone to your product or to your service, you are going to need to be more focused on how to get people actually using your product or your service. Find out what's keeping them from the starting point and find ways to address that specifically in your emails. In educational related emails, you might focus on a topic which educates your customer on how to use your product in ways they might not have thought of. After that, if you're writing an engagement email, like to leave a review or post on social media, make a special offer to them if they do, and this will definitely increase your success rate. Okay, so this is my best part about copywriting, which is promotional emails. You are either announcing a sale or providing a nudge with a specific discount may be available to them. The best way to think about this is if you have a customer sitting on their couch, thinking about your product that they might have for sale and they want to buy it. What email would you want to send to them? Planning your emails in context with email categories, make sure you are more focused on what customers are expecting from you and what they need to keep coming back to you. You want to tell inspiring stories that supports each stage of your customer journey and matches wherever people are in that process. For example, in awareness stage, a brand original story can prove inspirational, building an emotional connection with your brand. When consumers are in the consideration stage, focus your story on customer success and testimonials. This shows how your service or your product has positively impacted real people and highlight how your product or how your service solves that problem and that user need. Encouraging the final decision to purchase is a part of conversion stage, and stories that center on the daily life of your customers and how your product or your service is an important part of their success are good to tell here. Alongside this kind of stories, promotional discounts or other offers like free shipping can seal the deal. Finally, building long-lasting relationships is known as retention phase. Here, you want to find stories that resonates around post-purchase support and community engagement. If you are a car company, for example, telling a story about someone who has just rolled past 2,100 miles in the same engine speaks about longevity of your brand. So it's important not to forget that you have to tell a great story and make sure that you also tell your readers what to do next and what they will expect from your brand. Typically, your readers might learn more when they are going from awareness to consideration stage or to be buying, subscribing or registering, and now they are converting. Also, you can look out for those customers who has been in business for you in a long time and they can be a positive influence on others. For example, they can leave a good review or even tell their own brand stories that will support your brand. When managing copywriting campaign, feedback can come in various forms. This feedback will typically be either quantitative or qualitative. Qualitative is what you hear people say about your copywriting campaign, and quantitative is what you see in the matrix. Both are important, but both are confused with each other. So an example of quantitative data would be your email open rates. Like you can see in this example, this is my copywriting agency email campaign, and look at these open rates of my emails. How many times people have clicked on the links in your email and how many conversions you might have. This is something you can literally count or you can see, and it is not false because it is actual data. Quantitative, on the other hand, is literally what people are saying about you. You might have surveys, feedback forms, reviews, or direct customer response where you will get this information, but it's only a small amount of people, or it's only from the people who are bothered to take their time in order to complete all of this process. Often this kind of feedbacks is from the people that are feeling strongly one way or another to your brand, and it can produce biases. But don't get me wrong, it can be still incredibly useful for your campaign. But what I love about quantitative data is they can tell a story about what everyone did as a whole rather than a single motivated customer decided to take that action. So let's say you have 10 email campaigns running throughout the month and one of them has a high open rates and is creating sales and getting a lot of response or feedback. These kind of positive feedbacks, both qualitative and quantitative, would help you determine the secret sauce of that email. Then it's your job to analyze what made it different and bring that element to every other email campaign to make them even better. Alright, I hope this makes sense. I will see you in the next lecture. Hello and welcome everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about our class homework or our class project. Well, the class project or class homework for you is to create a marketing copy or copywriting campaign for your brand or for your niche. I will give you an example of my copywriting campaign or my email marketing campaign. First of all, you have to define the type or category of your email. In my case, I am doing a promotional email or the category is promotional email. Then comes our email line or our headline. Your ticket to a 5-figure income. This is creating an urgency to the readers. Moving on, we have our email copy. And as you can see, would you like to learn a valuable skills that can potentially make you 5 figures? It is known as hook. And as we have mentioned or described in our course, we have to add hook in the first part or the first paragraph of our email. And I have done it in the first line. Further on, I have added bunch of call to actions and all of my emails and all of my lines are aligned or in connection with each others. Well, that's how you craft a compelling and exciting email campaign or copywriting campaign. So all you need to do is create an email campaign or copywriting campaign like this, define the category of the email, for example, educational, promotional, etc. Then take a screenshot and then upload it in the projects section so that you will earn a certificate out of it. Well, that's all for this lecture and I will see you in the next one. The best marketing prompt from generative AI tools start with thoughtful planning. And after this lesson, you will be able to plan excellent prompts by considering a varieties of factors which will add an authentic voice to your marketing content. First, ask yourself who are you talking to or who is your target audience or target market. You will want to define the role and your buyer persona from generative AI tools for any content you make. For example, you might tell generative AI tools to take the role of a marketer that sells football gears to teenagers. Next, consider what kind of content you are creating and what are you hoping to achieve from it. Being literal with clear instruction will make sure that you will get what you want. You can say to your AI writing tools that you want an 800-word blog post on what high school football players can do to get ready from interviews from college football coaches. Make sure it's content that you target. In this case, high school football players would be very well interested in that. And if you have an existing blog post on similar topic, you can also provide it to generative AI tools as a reference or context. Finally, you want to define the style of your writing and provide context to the request. This includes defining the composition of the content created and setting boundaries to the results. You might say that you want it to be casual but informative style that provide a step-by-step guidance to a 30-minute interview with the coach. You may even further guide the output to include 8 questions to expect from the interview and how to dress well from the interview. Languages like this will allow you to guide the result to sound more like you and will make it a lot easier when you add the final personal or authentic touch later. When working with generative AI writing tools on marketing content, it's important to define your guardrails, create boundaries, and be clear with your expectation. If you don't do this, you are basically telling generative AI tools to guess what you mean and who knows what kind of result you will get. The first way to ensure clear direction is to set a role in your prompt so that it's clear from what perspective you want your content to be written or the expected output in the written form. This is the first step in making the output your very own. You can do this by imagining who might be the best from writing your content. Would it be an email marketing manager writing your next newsletter article? Or maybe an e-commerce manager writing a product description? It could be even the role of CEO for a thoughtful leadership piece that will end up in your blog. When you decide on what role generative AI takes, the flip side of the coin is thinking about the audience that will read your content. As most marketers has already done this kind of work to figure out the target audience and target market, it's not hard to write that in your prompt. Let's say if your buyer persona is man and woman aged 35 to 45 who practices yoga, it might be beneficial to add in your prompt that you are selling yoga mats. You can also say which marketing platform the content is for, as the messaging might change between one social media platform to another. The last part of providing clear prompt action is about assigning specific steps to the work that is to be done. As an example of this could be something like directing the AI to write an 800-word blog post and then immediately after that provide 4-sentence synopsis from social media platform, and then provide a translation of the post in Spanish or Hindi version from your website. So as you can see, the more direction you are able to provide to generative AI writing tools, the better result you will get. Brand identity reflects your value and your personality as a product or company. So it's important for you to set tones as well as guidelines covering language formats, formality levels, and even emotional appeal in your writings. Setting a consistent tone for your target audience enhances engagement and brand loyalty as your audience knows what to expect. So make sure to include clear directions in your prompts as to whether you like your content to sound more professional, formal, funny, easygoing, or even sarcastic. The great thing about generative AI tools is once you set on the specific decided tone, it's so much easier to be consistent in whatever you write moving on. So what's the difference between tones? Well, a professional tone shows a higher level of formality that can be used in legal, academic, or corporate niche. This kind of writing might be useful in official titles, complex sentence structures, and in coherent and contextual languages. A business-like tone would be more polite, but not overly formal. On the other hand, an easygoing tone shows a low level of formality that can be still used in business environment. We see this often in social media posts, where the language is more conversational. One more aspect of your tone which can affect how your brand is perceived is how much you use emotional appeal or emotional intelligence. For example, if you run a non-profit organization that is trying to raise funds for a worthy cause, your emotional appeal would be a lot higher, something you want to indicate or add in your prompt. And if you are writing political content, the emotional appeal might be reflected in a specific way which matches your audience belief system and your political party. So there are a lot of knobs you can turn and levers you can pull while using AI tools from writing. So don't be afraid to experiment finding your unique tone and your unique personality. It's always important to look at the big picture. So before you even start writing your first prompt or running your first prompt for the first time, make sure you have provided enough context to make the result of your work worthwhile. One of the first things you might want to consider is that the content that you are making should align or matches with your sales funnel. Let's say if I am writing a blog post, for instance, these are usually geared towards the consideration part of the funnel. This is where you will be answering questions and offering solution to pain points your potential customer might have. Making sure you direct generative AI tools to consider where your content is sitting or matching with your sales funnel, so that it will use right call to action and encouraging words and phrase to convert it into a successful sale. Next, your prompts can add keyword ideas and direct the resulting content effect on the search intent. Navigational intent, for instance, answers the question, where do I find something? Informational intent answers the question, how do I find even more? And transactional intent answers the question, where do I buy something? Remember, you are the expert or mastermind, and generative AI tools is taking your lead. So it's important to be literal when writing prompts. Like in any good relationship, be clear about your expectation and let generative AI tools knows what you expect and what you want. When you mean what you say and say what you mean, you are providing proper guidelines so that your content is more human and effective at the same time. Rule number 1 with writing AI tools is never think of your prompt as a final product. It's a living and breathing document that you can and should make your own. Even if you have already run the prompt and reviewed the answer, you can always go back and rewrite to make it even better. This first look or two of the result of your original prompt is an opportunity for you to make sure AI results reflects the voice of your brand and meet audience expectation. So ask yourself, does the content seems to understand your buyer persona? If your buyer persona tends to be busy professional, for instance, the content should be more concise and up to the point. If it is a more creative persona, a more vivid, story-driven content would make more sense. You can also add demographic information like gender and age so that your original prompt should meet certain guidelines to speak to that specific group. You can go even further to create authenticity in your brand by personalizing the content to be unique in your communication style. If your brand or company has specific readings, sign-offs, or phrases you commonly use, make sure to add them in your prompt. This phase of content development with AI tools is so much important because only you truly knows your audience and their emotional levels. So, does the content in front of you meet their expectation as much as your expectation? Try adding a turn of phrase, different conversation style, simile, a metaphor, or even a story that is inductive to your brand and to your personality. A great story tells a connection between people, a challenge that is overcome, or something surprisingly creative and innovative that happens to save the day. Telling a story in this way can make your content more authentic and sound more like your brand before or after your prompt. There's a great book that came out a few years ago called Made to Stick. This outlined what makes stories memorable. The authors found 3 types of specific stories with specific styles of plotline that work very well. One plotline they outline focus on the connection with the story that might tug at your heartstring or inspire you. Apple uses this with its iconic Think Different campaign, which features famous people like Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King Jr., and Bob Dylan. These ads align with their brand with great or creative minds. They use an existing emotional connection you already have with these figures to their benefits. Another you might see often is a challenge plot. Typically, this is a David and Goliath story where a product or company overcomes adversity because they are better than their less nimble, larger competitor. Tesla began this way as a car company, fighting the best Detroit car making machine. It's some things that it is inherent to their brand story. Finally, a creativity plot is where a creative approach to a common problem saves the day. Modern examples might be Iron Man Tony Stark, who uses creativity as his most effective weapon. Stories like this, when authentic and true, can be weaved into the story of your own brand and your own content so that people knows it came from you and it's not fake. Whether you weave it into your prompt over time or add it manually and adjust the result of your prompt later. Telling a good story will make your brand more human and believable. Potential customers will always have expectation as to what they learn, think about, or even feel when they engage with you. Whether it's educational value, inspiration, or entertainment, your content may or may not deliver on that expectation after the first try with AI tools. Adding the human touch is an important part, making AI as a partner rather than a force replacing you. So, after your content is published, it's important to pay attention to user feedback. This feedback is invaluable in understanding whether your content is resonating with your audience or if some changes are needed. Once you learn something from that feedback, you can add that concept or approach into your future prompts. Many generative AI tools even allows you to pre-prompt your requirements into any chat it's create. Basically, you can create your very own content marketing generative AI chatbot for your product or your brand and make sure AI reference to prior work to make it part of any content that the tool creates. My prediction for the future is that, much like most companies have a brand book to define and shape their brand, you will also have a prompt book to help keep brand ideas consistent. And any prompt book should involve oversight and reviews, as your brand voice is a crucial element that should be consistent across all of your content. Adding the human touch by making sure you are an active participant in the result, make sure that you are in the charge and your generative AI content is not fake. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we will discuss our class homework or our class project. The class project for you is you have to write a marketing prompt for your brand or even for your own. First thing first you have to do is define your niche or market. Second, you have to decide your target audience or target market. Then add all of the context and detail into the prompt and try to run it with ChatGPT or any AI writing tool that you are familiar with. Add a screenshot of it in the class project to earn the certificate. Alright, so finish with this homework and I will see you in the next lecture. Congratulations on completing this course and keeping the authenticity front and center when writing with generative AI tools. I hope that the next time you write your marketing content, you will feel more confident and your brand voice will automatically come through. I found that applying all of the steps that we have discussed in this course will significantly increase the productivity, efficientness, and more importantly, lead conversation in your marketing campaign. It's been great working with you on this exciting topic, and I wish you all the best. Hi class, super stoked for this lecture. This class is all about class homework or class project. Here, you have to write a top-notch email copy where you will use spin text, personalization, avoid spam filters, and bunch of other things. But before we get started, I will show you an example, or I will show you the copy that we use in our agency or in our cold email campaigns. This isn't just any other cold email, it's carefully crafted using everything what we have learned in this course. Let's walk through it together. First, look at the subject line. Notice how we use spin text variation like hey, hi, name, interested in, wanted to explore, boosting, scaling, company sales, sales pipeline, lead generation, and multiple of others. This gives us multiple natural sounding email copies with personalization. It's like having multiple of unique copies and subject line in one. Moving to the opening or introduction line of our email, see how we have immediately shown that we have done our homework or research. By mentioning the company's growth and recent activities, we are saying I'm not just another mass emailer that you have in your inbox. That's crucial from standing out in a crowded inbox. The body structure follows naturally. We present our value proposition, back it up with specific metrics, and make it scannable. Every word serves a purpose. I'm not adding anything extra or any bluff or any fluff, so I want to make my email copy under less than 150 words. Did you notice the call to action? It's clear but not too punchy and pushy. We are inviting a conversation and not demanding one. See the difference between that. Now it's your turn to create something amazing like this. Here's what you can do. You can use spin tags, you can use personalization, you can avoid spam filters, you can use a soft CTA, you can use your own signature, you can show your testimonial, show some of your works that you have done, include all of those and all other things that we have taught or we have described in our class earlier. Then craft your email. I will share this template in the resource section so that you have a glimpse. Don't just copy it, have it on your own way with your own voice and your own branding. Again, I want to emphasize on the fact that don't use extra words. Make every word accounted for. Remember, brevity is key here. So whenever you are ready with your email copy, I'm more than happy to share my feedbacks on it. So make sure that you take a screenshot of it. You can use Google Doc or you can use email. Just screenshot that and attach that PNG or JPG file in Project Gallery. Alright, I'm really looking forward to you to submit your project or a class homework, and I will see you in the next one. Guys, you did it. Congratulations on completing this entire course, and you should be super proud of yourself because not many people make it till here, and I will give a clap for you if you don't. Once again, thank you for joining me on this amazing journey of cold emailing. I hope you found this course valuable and you are equipped with all the knowledge, all the tech stack, all the tools that you need to know in order to boost your B2B outreach efforts. Remember, cold emailing is both art and science. Cold email campaigns requires continuous learning, testing and refining. So don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Just keep experimenting and keep innovating. Now go ahead and conquer those inboxes. And if you have any question, you can reach out to me. I'm just one message away. Alright folks, all the best for your cold emailing endeavors, and I will see you in some of my other courses.
Sales Handy offers 4 main tiers, each designed for different scales of operation. Let's break them down. First up is the Outreach Starter Plan. This one's priced at $36 per month or $25 if you opt for annual billing. It's perfect for those just dipping their toes into cold emailing. You'll get to manage 2,000 prospects and send up to 6,000 emails monthly. It's a solid starting point for small teams or solo entrepreneurs. Next, we have the Outreach Pro Plan. At $99 monthly or $74 annually, it's a step up for growing businesses. You can handle 30,000 prospects and send a hefty 100,000 emails per month. Plus, you get some nice perks like advanced integrations with Salesforce and HubSpot. For larger operations, there's the Outreach Scale Plan, priced at $199 monthly or $149 annually. It allows for 60,000 prospects and 200,000 emails monthly. This tier introduces white label capabilities, which is great for agencies or businesses looking to maintain their branding. Finally, there's the Outreach Scale Plus plan. Starting at $299 monthly or $219 annually, this is for the big players. It offers customizable limits starting at 100,000 prospects and 300,000 emails monthly. You'll also get a dedicated success manager to help optimize your campaigns. Now, a few key points to remember. All plans come with a 7-day free trial, no credit card required. You can save up to 30% by opting for annual billing. And regardless of the tier, you'll get core features like unlimited email accounts, sender rotation, and A/B testing. When choosing your plan, consider your current needs, but also think about where you want to be in 6 months. It's often more cost-effective to choose a plan with room to grow. Alright everyone, let's dive into Sales Handy's Lead Finder pricing. They've recently slashed their prices by half, making it more accessible for businesses of all sizes. Let me walk you through the options. First up, we have the Lead Starter Plan. This one's priced at $29 per month when billed annually. It gives you 12,000 credits per year, which is a great starting point for many businesses. Next, we have the Lead Pro Plan. This is their most popular option, and it's easy to see why. For $59 per month, billed annually, you get 30,000 credits per year. That's more than double the starter plan. For those with bigger needs, there's the Lead Scale Plan. At $99 per month when billed annually, you're looking at 60,000 credits per year. This is perfect for businesses with a more extensive outreach strategy. Finally, we have the Lead Scale Plus plan. This is the heavy hitter, priced at $189 per month when billed annually. With this plan, you get a whopping 120,000 credits per year. Now, let me highlight some key features that come with all these plans. Your unused credits, they roll over to the next month, so you don't lose them. All the leads are real-time verified, ensuring you're working with current data. You get both personal and work email addresses, giving you multiple ways to reach out. And of course, all plans include advanced search filters to help you find exactly who you're looking for. It's worth noting that these plans don't include phone numbers. If you need those, you'll want to look at their email plus phone number plans, which are priced a bit higher. Here's a nice bonus. When you sign up for any plan, you get 5 leads absolutely free. It's a great way to test the waters and see the quality of leads you'll be getting.